What's up, you guys? So I'm recording this like right before July, going into July. What I think the meta is going to look like for Master Duel in July. We're using the same template from June because we haven't really gotten any new super impactful archetypes, and I'm just going to kind of rearrange and go with uh, where things sit. This is probably going to be a quicker video than normal because there's not too much changing. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Master Duel Meta on the side. Just right here, the list that is taking effect basically going into July is not changing too much. We're getting Flunderies and Impen to 1, which, I mean, I only ever really ran 1 when I played Flu. We're getting Sulik put to 1, which is another slap on the wrist for tier. It is going to make it just a little bit weaker, which is good. Eradicator to 1, which I don't think is going to be super impactful in this format. Branded Fusion to 2. So hitting the consistency of the branded engine, but you're going to be just fine with 2. Like, it's not going to be a huge deal. Sprite Jack going to 2, hitting the consistency of Sprite just a little bit more. Once again, you'll be just fine with 2. It does hurt a little bit, but you'll be just fine with 2. Swap Frog going to 2, pretty much same as Sprite Jack going to 2. It's going to hurt the consistency just a little bit. Metaverse going to 3 from 2 doesn't really matter. I feel like they're just putting this out there because they hit terraforming. But with the other Shizu cards being at 1 and 2, we have some changes. So first off, I feel like Tier is still going to be best deck, even with Silicon at 1. I feel like Sprite's going to be a close second, followed by Branded and Branded Despia. Although I do feel like Branded Biseal is going to definitely still be better than Branded Despia. I do feel like Biseal and Despia with Branded together, you're going to see a lot of that. But if in terms of just an engine, I feel like Biseal really helps Branded a lot. Next we have Flu. I still think Flu is tier 1 territory. I feel like Impen being on 1 hurts the deck. I do feel like it doesn't hurt the deck a ton. I feel like it's kind of dangling off the end of the list. Next we're going into tier 2. We have Exo Sister. I feel like Exo Sister is still good. I do feel like it's fallen off a little bit based on just because the matchups. So like back when tier was basically tier 0, Exo Sister had a fantastic matchup because you know, you're dealing with something that basically just uses graveyard effects, and you have this deck that just completely thrives off of graveyard effects. So I just feel like that is the reasoning for that. I did see in some of the top deck lists that some people are going around with Katakuri. I don't think we have enough data from that really to put Katakuri like anywhere up here on the list. I have been seeing a lot more Dragon Link, to the point where I do feel like Dragon Link actually deserves to be moved up. And Sword Soul with some of the new variants, I feel like Sword Soul also deserves to kind of be moved up just a little bit. I feel like tier 1, we're good where it's at, but because of, you know, basically what I just said, let's find our boy Dragon Link. We put him on the list before, we put him in free off meta. I don't know what I was thinking that day. Well, actually, no, in that format at the beginning of the month, with how oppressive tier was before we got some hits later in the month, you know, and I do actually feel like that's correct. But Dragon Link gonna move up to tier 2. It's gonna be ahead of Exo Sister. I feel like that's just fair. I'm also gonna put Sword Soul up in tier 2 ahead of Exo Sister, behind Dragon Link. I feel like Dragon Link with the Bysteel engine just has more going for it than Sword Soul, although the Bysteel engine does really help Sword Soul players out a lot. Emancipator, I'm actually going to put ahead of Exo Sister at this point in time. I just feel like Exo Sister's matchups aren't as good as they were, and I feel like it's going to struggle against everything above it. I'm even going to put out Ignister above it. I am going to still keep it above Black Wings. Bysteel here, this is like if you're playing a pure Bysteel deck, like Bysteel Synchro, which no one's going to do because Magma's at 1. So I'm actually going to put this in the, this is better as an engine. It's definitely the king of the better as an engine. Bysteel itself is an amazing engine. I don't see anyone playing pure Bysteel. Next we have Life Twin Sprite. I feel like this and Math Mech have fallen off significantly. I still feel like they're better than the like Ecclesia variants. I do also feel like the Dogmatica deck, the Ritual Dogmatica deck, is just not really very good. I've seen it a couple times, but I feel like it's just Dogmatica by itself. I feel like Dogmatica belongs in this better as an engine category. So next we're gonna go, we have Math Mech. Circular's great. You don't really see him being played too much. There's just better options above him, but the deck is still good. I do feel like Circular still definitely deserves to be in tier 2. Same with Dedede. Dedede can still do its huge board. It can basically make the Emancipator board, but without Emancipator cards. Prankins I'm actually going to move down, and that's because I'm like not seeing anyone play the deck anymore. Naturia, I'm going to put... No, I'm actually going to keep behind Endymion. I feel like that's fine. Punk, I'm actually going to move down because I've seen less people playing Punk now than I've seen playing even Numeron or even Dinosaurs. I've seen a surprisingly big amount of Dinosaur players and Diamond, which has been a little unusual. Comment below if you can explain that to me. Next we have Pride Brigade. Pride Brigade I feel like is off meta. I feel like it's still decent enough. Same with Marincis. Like if you go first with Marincis in a best of 1 and you get the board, the lock board, good on you. I feel like I overestimated Herald, Drytron Herald, when it got its buffs, and I feel like it actually deserves to be... People aren't going to like me for this, but I'm going to actually put it behind Cyber Dragons. Heroes. Darklaw, pretty good card, but you don't need to worry about it as much right now. I'm actually going to move that down. Way down. We're actually going to put it ahead of Chainburn. I just feel like heroes are way too easy to beat over the head at this point in the format. Zombies, anti-meta zombies are still good. I don't see them as much, but they're still good. Thunder Dragons definitely belong in tier 3 off meta. You don't see them as much, but they're good. Bysteel Thunder Dragon's decent. I don't have too much of a problem beating it. My frame of reference is I've actually been playing Naturia Runic, and I got into Diamond with that. I pretty much have had an easy time beating everything below Naturia with it. Everything above it, it can be an uphill struggle if you go second. If you go first and you get the board, then your opponent basically has to get an amazing hand to play out of it. Turn 1 with Naturia, I've been able to do things like set up Sunflower Beast, Barkion, and Camellia. So I have 2 possible effect negates, trap negates, and spell negates. And I just look at my opponent like, what are you going to do here? And then I get Lava Golem sometimes. It happens to the best of us. Salad's fine. Benji's fine. I'm actually going to go and put Sky Strikers kind of bag ahead. I'm actually going to put Dragon Maids up a lot higher. Bysteel Dragon Maid's fun. I don't know if you guys have played it, but it is a fun deck. I'm actually going to put that in 3 for the tier for off meta. I didn't really see it very much once I got out of Platinum, but Bysteel Dragon Maid is a fun deck with a decent amount of plays you can make. Highly recommend you check it out. Sky Striker, I feel like Sidestrike can out pretty much most of the stuff below it if it does a decent enough job. ABC, it's fine where it is. Crusadia, going turn second shenanigans, fine where it is. Infernoid, it's fine where it is. Cyber Dragons. I'm actually gonna move them down. I actually think Blue Eyes is better than playing Cyber Dragons at this point. Words I didn't think I would ever say. When Cyber Dragons gets Clockwork Knights, that will definitely change because you can summon anything that says this card is Cyber Dragon and then contact your opponent's board away. So once we get that, yeah, it'll be much better. But right now it's there. Chain Burn. I feel like I was being too generous to Chain Burn last list because let's just be real, it's like playing solitaire with yourself and it's not that good. We're gonna move it down. Gem Knight FTK is also another solitaire deck. Gonna move it down there for now. Yeah, I feel like Altergeist are actually a little bit better than Heroes at this point. Labyrinth, definitely better than Heroes, definitely better than Cyber Dragon. I'd say better than Blue Eyes. Eldritch is like the bad version of Labyrinth at this point. They've just been hit too many times. Their floodgates have been destroyed. Like, the engine's just, it's just not for me, Chief. Stardust as a deck. Yeah, right there. Arrow Mage shenanigans with the Rikas and all that. I'm fine putting them there. Inzektor with Dragon Bite and Beach Trooper and Ring of Fairies and all the shenanigans they got. This deck can do so many extended plays that it's almost nutty. But the problem is hand traps can sink them. If you don't have a Called by the Grave, you might be in trouble. If you can't stop the Maxi, you're either in trouble or you're going to make your opponent deck out. I feel like it's okay for them to be right there. Cosmo, I'm gonna move them down one and put Earth Machine Toolbox ahead of them. Cosmo's Cosmo, it's acceptable. I think this is actually Rika and that's Arrow Mage, so let's move Rika there and let's put Arrow Mage down, and it's flat out bad this meta. Because it is, I'm sorry, but it is. Umilok can go right there. Goaty, Umilok, all that, somewhere in tier 3. Stardust, already covered why. Scareclaw, you're never going to see it being played. I'm actually just going to put it way back there. The deck can swarm, it can do things, but you're just not going to see it. Pendulums, you're not going to see it, and minus the FDK, I feel like it's just bad. I feel like it's off meta. It doesn't deserve to be flat out bad, but it is not very good. Choptrix, pretty much the same. I'm actually gonna put Virtual World behind Pendulums. Orchist, I'm actually gonna bump up a couple notches. I've seen some builds of this that have been creative, fun, and kind of hard to get around. So I am gonna put Orchist up. I'm gonna put him behind Dynamorphia. I feel like Dynamorphia with the Dinosaur engine, you have more options and it's just better. Gravekeepers has moved up significantly. I feel like I'm actually comfortable putting Gravekeepers above these decks, and that's because Gravekeepers have that you can't move cards from the grave to another place. Necro Valley is a really good card that you can't special summon when you have Necro Valley and Gravekeeper, and that one card on the field is a really good card. And I ran into 7 different people playing Gravekeepers in my journey to Diamond. And I've actually seen people playing Gravekeepers in Diamond. So like I feel the representation is there. And I feel like if you need to do shenanigans to move things out of the graveyard, like even Runic Naturia and Runic is harmed by Necro Valley. I feel like would be another good example. I feel like if you're going to be moving stuff out of your graveyard to use like with Rebellion or whatever from Branded, he stops that. It's just that you can't use your Sprite Link to get stuff back. It just disrupts like a lot of things. I don't feel like the deck is good, but I definitely feel like it's better than Chain Burn at this point. Just flat out bad. Arrow Mage, Witchcrafters, Time Lords, Pure Draco, lots and lots of trains, Unchained, Spiral, Subterror, Pure Springians, Pure Super Heavy Samurai, Monarchs, Pure Trickstar, Phantasm Spiral, Plunder Patrol, Dark Magician, Skull Servant, Burning Abyss, Phantom Knights, Evil Eye, Ancient Gears, Galaxy Eyes, Ice Jade, Fujin, Evil Hero, Ancient Warriors, Arcana Force, what's it called? Battle Wasps, Rainbow Dragon, like Crystal Beast Shenanigans, Nordic Beast, a Seer Archetype, Magispectors, Crawlers, Cubics, Toons, what's it called? Exodia, Gate Guardian, Mutant, Dark Worlds. What else is it? What's that called? Ogotics, Lunalights, Nurse Burn, and Six Sams. They are just flat out bad this meta. I'd probably put Karakuri somewhere up in tier 3. I don't have an icon for him, but that's where I put him. And then better as an engine, I feel like Byseal is best as an engine. I feel like Runic's best as an engine. Same logic with Crusadia. Melfi, I feel like is actually better as an engine. The stuff you can do with Melfi and Sprite is really fun. Being able to have Caddy, return Caddy, get the Finny, like the little walrus looking thing, the seal, play the seal, go into either a Herald or the Melfi that bounces, is just like decent for like a 1-card level 2 combo. And the fact that you can do that during your opponent's turn is also really nice. It's disruptive. Danger, Adventure, Protoplant, Shadal, the Weird Chaos thing, Artifact, the Rose engine, what's it called? Invoked, the Shizu engine, the D Hero engine, Mayakashi engine, Spellbooks, Speedroids, Therion. Kaiju is not really an engine, but it's like, you know, like if you're running a bunch of Kaijus or like playing the going second deck, Kaijus are like better for that than just playing like a pure Kaiju deck. Zodiac and Time Thief are all in the better as an engine category. But yeah, that's your tier list for July 2023. Let me know if you agree or disagree below. And what you think I'm wrong on, if you want to call me a big dum-dum for this list. And of course, this tier list has been sponsored by W Energy. You can use code SirLargeGaming to get 10% off of your order. And I really like their new mango orange creamsicle flavor. It's awesome. It tastes like one of those old bomb popsicles you can get from an ice cream truck, and it provides me way more energy than stuff like a canned energy drink from the store. It's good stuff. Check it out if that's your thing. If not, sorry for that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.